All right, here we go. Episode number 9 of the Odgies podcast presented by Parx Sportsbook. There's Harry Mays, myself, Jason. You're on the left today.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I think that's my good side over there, Jason, the left.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's because I put you into the stream first. So you go
Oh.
into the left position, and then I added myself second. But I got to say, Harry, before we talk about Parks real quick, I was impressed. I always have some music playing when you log on.
Yeah.
And I had a really obscure one today. I don't know why I was in the mood. For Sean Penn's brother, Michael Penn.
Right.
And a song called Long Way Down. Look what the cat dragged in parenthetically. And you go, Is that Michael Penn? I go, how the fuck do you know that?
Is that Michael Penn, Bo? Yeah, no, I just recognized the
Penn.
voice. Yeah, right. I just recognized the voice because there was actually a song that guy did that was kind of a hit back in, I want to say, I don't know what, late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there, that we used to do in the little band that I had going back in the time. And it was a pretty good song. I didn't even remember the name of it, but you found it. And it was, what was the name of the song?
I forget.
You already forgot.
Yeah, it's it was a real big hit, right?
It was a good song.
Yeah,
but the voice, I just remember the voice of it, and it was a good song. But I just it sounds like Michael Penn.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't even know he was Sean Penn's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'd think he would have had a better career just by being his brother, right?
Right. I think Kevin Bacon's brothers had a much better career. Even the Bacon brothers.
Yeah. Long Way Down was the one I was.
No
playing.
Myth. No Myth
is
that was the song.
That was kind of the pop.
That's a good tune, actually.
Yeah. I always kind of enjoyed it. It's like very singer-songwriting kind of thing, and acoustic, and it's pretty cool stuff. But
yeah, 1989 that came out. No Myth. Yeah. So late 80s, early 90s. I had it right. But how about that?
You pulled that one right out.
Now, what got you into that today? That is very obscure, especially for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes, you just kind of like a song pops into your head and you're like, I want to hear it. It's what's good about YouTube. You can just freaking type it in.
Right.
And you can hear it. Like I'll go through like weird, bursts with certain, songs that I like or bands that I haven't listened to in a long time. Because I find myself, listening to the same friggin' things over and over again.
I know, me too. Yeah.
And I can't, like, I'm not up to date on new music, and nothing new really moves me a whole heck of a lot. But like,
I try to stay hip.
Do you?
I'm about as hip as a 56-year-old white guy can be.
Out of the demo.
Out of the I am. Yeah, I am. But I mean, like today, I was going through this song. I look real good today. From the iPhone commercial.
Yeah.
With the little guy driving around his cul-de-sac on the bicycle.
Yeah,
and he's got the phone up there looking at him, and he's all badass and stuff. It's OT Genesis is the rapper that put this song together, and I just went down a rabbit hole with this guy. And the other day it was Chun-Li by Nicki Minaj, because that's sampled in the Amazon commercial with Medusa, where she takes the glasses down and turns people to stone. You ever see that commercial? If you watch sports TV, it's on every 2 breaks.
Oh, I kind of zone out.
They sample a Nicki Minaj song in there called Chun-Li. And I like Nicki Minaj. So I went down a rabbit hole the other day of her music. So I try to stay hip.
I think, was that Nicki Minaj, the one that you were citing the lyrics of the one time about shaking the ass or whatever? Way back when you were doing the radio show?
That was that wasn't that was a
Cardi B.
No, it was a guy that sang. That was a group, actually.
Oh.
That's Shake It to the Floor. That's an Ass Quake or something like
that.
Yeah, that was whack with Sal Tunis and you. And that was pretty funny. I forget the name of that song though.
Yeah. You hit those lyrics like you were inspired.
I know.
Shaking like an ass quake.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like I hear it all with my daughter, because my daughters are like want to listen to like Q102 all the time in the car and all these songs, and I don't know who anybody is.
Right.
But whatever. And I'm just so tired of listening to the same shit over and over. My wife's always like, you listen to the same like 8 songs.
Yeah. But you can go down rabbit holes on YouTube, man, with music and you just don't come out for hours.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. I went down that George Carlin rabbit hole too. That's a bad one to go down.
It is.
That leads you to a strange place.
Yeah. So's Bill Burr. You go down
Oh,
a rabbit hole with him.
been
Because
down
I
there
did
before.
yeah, I did with Norm Macdonald after he passed. Yeah, I was for a
Oh,
couple of days just going through, video after video of Norm and just, it was pretty cool, actually.
so you see the problem is you go down the Norm Macdonald rabbit hole, and then there's another rabbit hole on the path that leads you down
Mhm.
the Bill Burr rabbit hole,
Right.
which then leads you down another one, and you're just stuck. You need a rope to get out of the fucking rabbit hole.
Exactly.
That's one thing after another. Let's
Yeah.
tell people about Parks, because there's a lot going on. I mean, the championship weekend
Oh,
was absolutely insane. I can't imagine what the odds must have been, Har, for Cincinnati on the Parx Sportsbook app when they were down huge in that game, and
oh,
then to
yeah.
come back and win it with the field goal in overtime after the pick.
Yeah, I didn't check, but when you're talking about when they're down 21-3 in the
Yeah.
second quarter,
Yeah.
before they scored that touchdown with the Samaje Perine taking that screen pass all the way to the house for 41 yards that made it 21-10. And for the moment, at least you're thinking, oh, well, at least we got a game here. Cincinnati found their feet until Kansas City drives all the way down in the final minute of the first half, only to not get into the end zone, which
Yeah.
that changed the entire game. It was
Yeah.
really incredible.
It's
Really
an
incredible.
absolute lesson that in sports, like, careful what you tweet about a team not being ready to play or our team
Yeah.
sucks, because the games are about the totality of the game,
Right.
not just a quarter, not just a
Mhm.
period, not just whatever.
Yeah.
So,
But you're
um,
thinking like Kansas City was kind of notorious for getting out to slow starts in a lot of their playoff
yeah,
games that they'd end up winning. And here they get out to this, almost a 3 touchdown lead at home. The building is going absolutely crazy. It's not like Los Angeles where the visiting team has 50 to 60% of the fans, which is another whole story. But this is
mhm.
all Chief mad, it's mayhem in there. And Cincinnati, that Joe Burrow is, I mean, he is special. Really
Awesome.
special. They're a year or two ahead of schedule. The fact that he got them into the Super Bowl this year, it was just an amazing couple of weeks of football. It really
You, you,
was.
the thing is, and it's against the Chiefs team that's been there, done that, and won it.
Yeah,
And they still came back in that game. And I totally agree with you. Joe Burrow it's almost like Brady's handing him the baton to be the next guy,
yeah,
because in
yep,
his rookie year to do what he's done, look how many quarterbacks have gone through Cincinnati,
yeah.
right?
This is his second year, though. This is
Yeah, that's true.
Burrow's second year. It's Jamar Chase, the wide receiver's rookie year, who has
Yeah,
been absolutely phenomenal too.
yep.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at how these two guys and this team is so transformed because of the addition of them, and
hmm
it's like all those years, like they haven't been in a significant team since the late '80s.
right. Since Boomer Esiason was there,
Yeah, and Steve Crumride, Icky Woods, and all of that,
Woods.
right?
Did you see Icky Woods?
No, I didn't.
Icky Woods was there. He's sort of like their ambassador mascot kind of guy now.
Wasn't he that
And
when he played?
he kinda, he
Yeah.
had the Icky shuffle, which, it became a big thing. But Icky, if you saw him, looks like he may have swallowed Anthony Munoz along the way. I mean,
Yeah,
he is like a big, big man now.
yeah.
But he was still rocking the jersey, and he was still doing a little Icky shuffle up there, accepting the trophy. So it was kind of cool, man. They hadn't won a playoff game since like 1991. And now they're in the Super Bowl for what is it, the third time? I think we could have almost had a three-peat of San Francisco, Cincinnati in the Super
Wow.
Bowl. Both
That'd be
times previously, the Bengals had been up against the Niners and Joe Montana and lost. Now they're up against the Los Angeles Rams. And that's another great story. The
yeah.
Rams.
I love Stafford.
Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, I
Now,
mean, he
Joe
was my
Burrow's really likable, but I like Stafford too.
yeah, Stafford's tough as tough
He
as they
is.
come, and
He
he was
really
always a
is.
good player, but he's just stuck in Detroit, and he gets
Yeah.
out of Detroit in year one, boom, he goes right to the Super Bowl. It's amazing.
Right. Incredible.
Uh,
Yeah, and they made all those midseason moves. I know you want to get to Parks here. I keep derailing you.
yeah. But no, you're right. They made a lot of moves, and that defense with Aaron Donald is just
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah. Yep. And
Murray's
Von
gonna have
Miller
his hands
finally
full.
decided to show up in the fourth quarter and make some plays. And of
Mhm.
course, they got Ramsey in there. And then Eric Weddle comes out of retirement and actually had a pretty good game. He made a lot of tackles in that game for a guy that was out of football for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe where I watched the game-winning field goal of the Cincinnati game, Har.
of the Cincinnati game. Were you at the rink?
I was at the barn in York, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Fresh
Really?
off a 5-4 win for my son's midget team.
Wow.
And we were sitting in the lobby watching the end of the fourth quarter and then the overtime.
Wow,
And watching it in the barn.
They get a nice sheet out there in York?
Yeah, 2 nice sheets in that facility.
Oh,
Although
2 sheets.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the place called? Do you remember?
I'm not even sure. I can't remember what it's called. I just know it's in York, downtown
Okay.
York.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
downtown. Yeah.
Which is a real fun drive.
Wow. Yeah, we go at the Turnpike, right?
We
Did you
didn't
go
go
out
to
the
the Turnpike. It
Oh,
took
you
us
didn't?
like 30 the whole
Oh,
way
Route
through like
30 the
Lancaster
whole
and all that
way?
shit.
Oh
Yeah, it
my
was a pain in the
God.
ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was a good game, and we had a 5-on-3 late in the game. And
Wow, you must have gone right past Dutch Wonderland.
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in the Cartoon Network Hotel right there by the
Of
outlets. There,
of course, yeah.
yeah, and there's like a bunch of like crappy restaurants there and stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe a Golden Corral might
Oh,
be
there
out
is.
there. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
they had
there
a
is.
chair throwing brawl out there.
Yeah, that and an old country buffet.
Oh, the Old Country Buffet. Yeah, exactly.
Awful. Let's tell people about Parx real quick because you just got to download the app, open up an account, deposit, and you get your first bet risk free up to $500. You got a lean already for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at the Rams minus the 4.
Mm-hmm.
As great of a story as the Bengals have been, and I think they're going to be back in a bunch of Super Bowls before it's all said and done with this kid. But I just think this Rams front is really going to come to play, and it's the weakness of the Bengals is their offensive line.
Yeah.
He survived somehow against Tennessee, getting sacked and beat up by 9 times. Last week, it wasn't that bad. But this Rams team, I just think they're just going to overmatch and own the line of scrimmage. And they've got enough offense that I think they can win this game by a touchdown. I'd lay the 4 with the Rams.
Okay. So that's the early play from Harry for the big game coming up in a couple weeks. And new customers, again, no promo required. Just sign up, deposit your first bet, risk free up to $500. It'll be fun for the game too, because you got individual player performances, all the props, all that stuff will all be there on the Parx.
Oh man, can you imagine for the big game and how many options you're going to have on the Parx Casino Sportsbook app? But John Shelton on our stream is asking if you're ready to lock in a Cup champion future.
No, not yet.
No?
Maybe after the All-Star break, which is this week.
That's this weekend, right?
Lock it. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to kind of go like the chalk and go Colorado. But if you want the value, you got to find a little bit of a long shot that you can make a justifiable case for that's at like plus 800 or more.
Right.
So I'll lock in on that for next week's episode, John.
Okay. All right. Something to look forward to for next week.
Yeah. And make sure you follow Parx on all the social channels at Parx Sportsbook on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. It's all there. Great content. Also, daily specials and much more. And you'll find all the episodes of the G's podcast there as well. All right, Harry, that's going to put a wrap on the episode. Have a good one.
It's it.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Now, go ahead.
I want to talk to you about Tom Brady and on several different levels. Let's first talk about the fact that Adam Schefter tweeted out that he was retired when he wasn't yet.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody wants to go now, like, Chris Mortensen tweeted out, see, he retired. Yeah. And people were questioning Jeff Darlington and Adam Schefter's. He retired today.
Yeah. Today.
He did not retire the other day.
I know. It's a shame that the greatest in the sport and maybe one of the greatest competitors of all time in any sport wasn't able to really just sort of take their day and announce it their way without, these reporters, just trying to, get it out early. I figured he was done anyway. We had talked about it, I think, last week on this show, and I did talked about it with my show with Barrett on YouTube, that I think this is it. I really think that the indication that he was given about what Giselle was saying, and time, he was just sort of saying things in a different way that led me to believe that this was really it. Yeah. And he's a 100% commitment guy, and obviously he says that would not be there this year, and he's not going to cheat the sport, and he respects the sport and everybody that plays it and puts in all the work each and every day, year round, too much to just go in this sort of half-ass and maybe only 90% committed. And you have to respect that too. So today's the day. He's the best. 22 years, Jason, 3 MVPs, 2 Offensive Players of the Year awards, 624 touchdowns in his career. I don't think that's ever going to be touched, nor will the 84,520 passing yards that he accumulated. The next closest active player on that list is Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not hang it up in the next season or maybe tomorrow. Who knows? But he's 29,000 and some odd yards behind Tom Brady.
Oh my God!
Think about that.
And think about how prolific he's been.
Yeah,
right. It's crazy.
Right.
Oh my goodness!
He won 35 playoff games. He appeared in 47. That's almost 3 full seasons worth of playoff games. And what's another one? 7 Super Bowls, 10 appearances. So that means he won 10 conference championship games. He appeared in 14 conference championships out of 22 years.
So that's 2/3 of his career.
Almost. Yeah.
Incredible. 10 appearances in the Super Bowl are more than every team in the NFL except New England, and 4 more than any other player, 5 more than any other quarterback.
How about that?
And only 3 teams collectively in their history have more playoff wins than Tom Brady.
In their history.
Yes.
Yeah. Now the Steelers are probably one of those, right?
Yeah. I think it's
Green
the
Bay,
Steelers.
probably.
I think the Cowboys have as many, 35 wins, and the 49ers as well.
Oh, the 49ers.
But, I mean, some of the numbers are just eye-popping. Super Bowl's all-time leader in completions, yards, touchdowns, and it's not even close. He has almost 2,000 more passing yards in the Super Bowl than any other player, and 10 more touchdowns than any other player, with 21 ahead of Joe Montana.
Wow. And
he played in 3 Super Bowls post 40.
Yeah, that's incredible. It really is. And
he's played in 18% of the Super Bowls, Har?
18%. Wow, I did not know that. I know, 10 appearances in 22 years. That's almost one every other year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. And he has more ATS covers against the spread than the Panthers, Jaguars, or Texans have wins in their franchise's history.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he has 209 ATS covers against the spread.
That is just insane. I saw this one stat too. One more. Somebody, I think it was from a Boston publication, tweeted this out. The Bucks in a game recently, it was against the Bears, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There was a thing that popped up on the screen that said 6 straight incomplete passes ties a career high for Tom Brady.
Wow, really?
He's never had 7 straight incomplete passes.
Wow.
He played in 308 regular season games, started all but 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
He's thrown 10,901 passes, averages out to more than 35 per game. He's thrown 40 or more passes 91 times and 50 or more 22 times.
Jeez.
And this spans 22 years, 5 U.S. presidencies, 10 Bills head coaches.
Wow.
And he's never thrown 7 straight incomplete passes. Even his worst game, he was 7 for 19 against Miami in 2004 and 8 for 21 against the Giants in 2003, but never threw 7 incomplete passes in a row.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, and took the team to the playoffs again. Obviously, beat the Eagles and then lost to the Rams. So it's not like he's going out on a bad note. I mean, he could easily have come back at the level that he was playing. So that's still pretty incredible to go out at 44, still playing at that high of a level.
Yeah, and I think you said it right off the hop, Har. I think he is the greatest team sport performer of all time. I mean, just look at the numbers. I mean, they're so eye-popping. And just Google Tom Brady playoff stats or crazy Tom Brady stats. And some of the ones they are mind-blowing. We could go for an hour just talking about his stats and how insane they are.
He's thrown for 13,000 plus yards in the playoffs alone.
Yeah. I mean, that's a career for a lot of guys.
It is.
It's just unbelievable how great he was. And I know, around Philadelphia, it's trendy to hate him, but he is greatness in sport personified.
Yeah. Oh,
Never
trust
really
me.
got into shit off the field.
No, no. I mean, he had the one, the baby mama thing, which,
Yeah, his
at the
first
time,
wife.
was pretty big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, marries the supermodel. You think about the just the charmed life,
Yeah,
you know. I mean,
and
she
a 6th
made
round pick.
yeah, right. And were it not for a Bledsoe chest injury where he had
Mhm.
internal bleeding, we may not even really know of Tom Brady. Who knows
Yeah,
how
that's
that works out?
maybe he never gets the opportunity, and you
Right.
just never know.
Right, or
And
the
it's
long enough opportunity,
yeah,
let's say Bledsoe was ready to go in another week, and, Belichick didn't have time to sort of say, "Hey, man, this guy looks like he might be it. I'm
yeah,
gonna go with him." The injury was so significant that they had to keep him out enough, and then when he decided or when he was able to come back and physically play, Belichick had seen enough. I wanna see a little bit
mhm.
more of this guy. So
Another coach maybe doesn't see enough either too,
right,
Har.
right.
I mean, the
Yep.
thing about it is you probably needed a lot of convincing and you needed a lot of data and a lot of
Oh,
performance to be
yeah.
because the guy was a 6th round pick at
Yep.
199.
Right.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
how does that happen?
think about the veterans in that locker room when they got wind that hey, coach is going with the kid.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
yeah. He was almost twice the age of his, tackle this year. He had a 23-year-old, I think,
Oh
left
yeah,
tackle.
Wirfs.
Yeah,
The kid from Iowa. He's a tremendous talent too. Yeah, that's amazing.
old
Um,
enough to be his dad.
do you watch The Man in the Arena? Have you seen any of the episodes yet on
No,
ESPN Plus?
no.
Well, I got the ESPN Plus a couple weeks ago because of the PGA Tour Live is included in it. And then I can watch all the college basketball, which my team, Temple, is rarely on regular TV. They're on the Plus. So I'm watching it, and then I see I can get Man in the Arena every episode. And that's the Tom Brady documentary that he produced and basically, all but directed it.
Yeah.
And it goes through his entire career. I'm about halfway through it. There's about, I think, 11 or 12 episodes, and it's really good. They're about an hour long, so it's not a big, lengthy commitment, but it's
Yeah.
really good.
I'll have to check it out
Yeah.
because I'm fascinated by him and the TB12 thing and all of
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
there was I think it was on Amazon or yeah, I think it was on Amazon, the Greatness documentary, and it had all like the great athletes and
Mhm.
Gretzky and
Schumacher maybe or
yeah, I think Schumacher was in it, Pele,
Mhm.
great the
Messi.
greatest of greats, yeah,
Yeah.
and they're trying to find like the common denominator of greatness,
Right. Sort of that
and
DNA, that what's in that DNA.
yeah, like, why are some guys just able to be I mean, think about it, like, everybody, like, went to high school and you had a great athlete in your high school, and they're still nowhere near. Like, if a guy,
Mhm.
it plays minor league whatever, they were great,
Right.
as comparatively speaking to everybody,
Sure.
but you have these guys that it's almost, like, unfathomable to think a guy can be that much better than everybody else in all the
Mhm.
years of sport existing.
Yeah,
It's
and it's not it's even more than just like physical
Mhm.
attributes or athleticism because Brady's not the most athletic guy out there,
No,
but there's something inside him where he's just got a different way of approaching the task than anybody else. You
computing
know,
information and all that stuff. It's like
and just
a
pushing
sports
through.
Mensa.
Yeah, just pushing through, always to be better, to keep work, never get, satisfied
Yeah.
where you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to work out today in the middle of March or whatever, the season's still 6 months away. I'll get to it. No,
Yeah.
those guys don't do that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they got a gazillion dollars and a
Right.
gazillion distractions and
Hmm.
options, and they still don't take it.
Right.
It's sick.
Right.
Um, so he's the greatest sport athlete in my opinion. But let's talk about Major League Baseball real quick because Bonds and Clemens are
Oh,
not getting in the Hall of Fame. Bonds to me is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen
yeah, me too. I
my
mean,
lifetime.
I saw the end of
Mays
Hank
or yeah,
Aaron, and the very end of Willie Mays. Willie Mays was like a
shell.
shell of himself. He wasn't even like I just heard about Willie Mays, but he was playing for the Mets in the early '70s, and they had gotten to a World Series against the A's, and he was on that team, but he was done. Like I
Yeah,
didn't get to see him good, but I saw Henry Aaron.
yeah,
Break the record in '74, and he, it was at the end of his career, but he still had something.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Bonds was the best I've ever seen. The best
So
all around I've ever seen.
as much as the NFL and Brady and everything, they hit home runs at pardon the pun, at every opportunity they get with their fans, with the product, with everything. Baseball is the polar opposite because they can't even celebrate their greatest player when just about every guy was freaking juicing at the time. And there's guys in the Hall of Fame that are admitted juicers. You can call them cheaters, whatever you want. I don't give a damn. But the fact that those two are not going to be in the Hall of Fame, and I know you had Rob Motti on, and I loved what he tweeted saying the vote for the Hall of Fame needs to be taken away from the voters who have it now.
And he's one of them.
Yeah.
He votes for it. And
because they screwed this up.
Yeah. Now, it's not, there were a lot of voters, writers that did vote for those guys to get in, just not enough. I guess you need 75% or something of the vote, and you only have a certain amount of years where you're on that ballot. And then if not, you don't get in there. There's I don't know if they still call it a veterans committee. There's other ways, later in time where they could get in, but I agree with it. They should already be in. Yeah. Because both of them, to me, regardless of, whatever substances they were taking, it was almost like a level playing field, and they were still that much better than everybody else. Exactly. And even before Bonds got involved with this or Clemens got involved with, you can make a case that they were already a Hall of Famer. Yeah. Prior to that, but then of course David Ortiz gets in, and he was involved in that report that came out, the Mitchell report, I believe it was, back in 2003, and his name was on it. Yep. And he was accused of taking performance enhancing substances. And doesn't have near the numbers, but he's a likable guy. See?
And he was nice to the media.
Yeah, he smiles all the time. He's not a surly jerk like Bonds was a lot of time, and Roger Clemens. So if you're nice to the writers, they're going to let you in.
And that's such bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. It should be about the best of the best, not the people that were nice to me.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah. It should not be about that at all. But this sport, this baseball, cannot get out of its own way.
I know.
They got a labor impasse now too, Har. Right. And I saw Jason Stark's tweet, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, that, hey, they are way far apart. And it looks like spring training is going to be delayed.
Wow.
I mean, can this sport just put itself into a box, dig a hole, and bury it and go away?
It might have to. But
it's doing it already.
We're getting close to that. What that pitchers and catchers date is coming up typically in another 2 weeks or so.
Yep.
And that was always that date on the calendar back in the day when I cared a lot about baseball that you'd look forward to, because it was always like a harbinger of spring is right around the corner. Yeah. You know what I mean? And can't wait to maybe go down to Clearwater and get a couple of games in and get out of the cold weather. And then next thing you know, it'll be opening day and away we go with, something to do during the summer. But I've replaced it. I told you this many times.
Yeah.
I'm out on baseball for what baseball did to baseball. Okay. The way they've changed it with the analytics and the launch angles and, balls in play don't matter anymore. And you went through a big dissertation on that a couple years ago with all kinds of data. And you're right. To me, it's just not an exciting watch anymore. It's a labor to sit through a baseball game. And I used to love pitchers duels back in the day, but these guys were not trying to just hit home runs or strike out. They were trying to put balls in play. They were bunting. They were stealing bases. They were hitting the opposite way. Now you got this shift, and it's just, I just don't enjoy it anymore. I really don't. And I've replaced it. So if it doesn't come back, it won't be any sweat off of my back, but I know a lot of people still love it. And for their sake, I hope they do fix this before people just start replacing it like I have.
Yeah. I just have such little faith that they can fix it. Mm-hmm. And there's just so much damage done. Like Jason Stark tweeted out this quote from a story that Evan Dreilich and Ken Rosenthal did. Here's the quote. Anyone sensing momentum in baseball's collective bargaining negotiations need to take a deep breath.
Oh, wow.
And they go through it issue by issue. They said a new CBA in baseball isn't close. Har, after all the damage they have done to the game, and it just keeps happening. I mean, to me, it's stunning that this is still going on. But
yeah, it really is. I mean,
I've replaced it as well.
You have?
Oh yeah, I have Formula One. Starts in March.
That's right. I can't wait. So that carries you through the summertime then, right?
It carries you 9 months.
Yeah, right.
It ended in December. It starts, the first race in Bahrain is in, I think, 6 weeks.
Yeah, but that's only one day a week, though. I mean,
No.
No?
Take that back.
Oh.
No, you have free practice on Friday, Harry, 2 sessions.
Okay.
Then you have Saturday. You have a practice session in the morning. Then you have quali.
Okay.
Then you have the Grand Prix on Sunday. And if you really get into it, you got Formula 2 and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you're even watching practice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that's incredible. That would be
That's
like
crazy.
me just watching guys on the driving range on Tuesday at Pebble Beach.
Which you would do if it was televised. Am I right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You
Maybe.
watch Phil out there working on his lob wedge, Harry.
He actually took the money and went and said, "Screw Pebble Beach. I'm going to Saudi Arabia this week."
Is that what we did?
Yeah, they're paying all the top guys get appearance fees to go over to Saudi Arabia. And now the field at the Pebble Beach the Pro-Am is not that good. I mean, it's good enough, but it's not as good as it should be. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
Yeah, it'll subsidize you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get through.
So will the Saudi Arabian thing be on TV?
Yeah, it'll probably be on very early in the morning. They'll probably have some of that on Golf Channel.
All right, so you can DVR that and watch it at your leisure is what you're saying.
Right.
You're up early anyway.
I am too. I would either be watching that or maybe a little Premier League soccer.
Yeah.
It's good for stuff early.
Yes, the EPL is a good way to subsidize, fill the void of baseball as well. Now, baseball was every day, but I mean, when nothing happens when you're watching the games, like you said, I like pitcher's duels. I do too. Like I love a goalie duel in hockey. I love a pitcher's duel. Like it's like watching Kasparov and Bobby Fischer go toe to toe on the chessboard.
Right.
When you get a Maddox versus Randy Johnson, two totally different pictures, but just an incredible pitching duel on Sunday Night Baseball.
Right.
But I mean, now the ball's just never in play.
No, I know. And they can't wait to go to the bullpen where they're starting with relievers and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm just lost on it. I'm sorry.
The sport has lost its soul. Couple more things in this episode before your cleaning lady gets there. Mine was here today too. They're supposed to be Friday, but
Friday.
Yeah, she didn't make it.
Okay.
That's right. I got a cough, so you say something.
All right. You got a cough. I hope you don't have you didn't get sick out in York at the sheet.
No, I just got over a non-COVID cold that I had it for like 2 weeks. Now, my daughters and the old lady had COVID.
Oh, the old lady had it.
Yeah, and I didn't get it, but like not this past weekend, the weekend prior, there were 2 Wings games, and I called the girl that does the game presentation. She's kind of like my supervisor, if you will, for the Wings game because I'm the PA announcer.
Okay.
And I said I tested. This was on like Friday. I said I tested negative today. I took a rapid test at home, and she's like, "You sound like shit." And she's like, "You can't come anyway because you have symptoms." So I had to miss both games that weekend, and I didn't even have COVID.
Oh, wow.
According to the rapid test.
Yeah.
So
how are things going with the Wings?
They're doing well. Yeah, they're having a good season. Yeah, it's fun down there. They're fun.
They get good crowds.
Yeah, decent. I think they're trying to like kind of rebuild post-pandemic too and create that awareness.
Right.
But it's fun. They beat the shit out of each other with the sticks and physicality and everything. There's music pumping the whole time.
Right.
Like some Korn or some Metallica.
Right. No Michael Penn at the
no.
No,
definitely not. And Brace does the games down there now.
Oh yeah, I know he's down there. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm the PA guy and he's the hype man.
Oh yeah, he's a good hype man.
Oh my God, he is like he'll start like howling. I'm like, what is he doing? He's a maniac.
He does that on his radio shows too.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
I thought he was like Teen Wolf at one point. He's going, "Oh!" I'm like, "What the hell is that?" A lunatic.
That's awesome.
Did you get anywhere on Ozark, Har?
No, I haven't. I haven't unearthed it yet.
I finished season 4, part 1.
Yeah,
which is 7 episodes. Damn, it's a good show.
Oh, so there's part 1 and then part 2.
Yeah, part 2 will wrap up the series.
Okay. Oh, that's the end.
Yeah, that's what Egan told me.
Oh
so
yeah, well
consider the information.
He would know. Yeah. He's a good source.
He keeps tweeting out like stuff about the Flyers and he'll put out the Flyers blah 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 and a 12-game losing streak, but he's always got the number of games wrong. Like when it was 9, he would tweet out 8. When it was 10, he would tweet out 11. He's never get it right.
Nope.
there's always some element of information that he gives you that is fucked up.
Right. Yeah, and I tried to tell him about that. I gave him a tighten it up, and my iPhone actually put in tighten is up instead of it. It like did an autocorrect for some stupid reason. And I'm like, I tried to tell you, because then he, of course, he's going to go right back to you. And so I find it ironic that you're telling me to tighten is up when you know what I mean? Because I made a mistake, right? I just love to put him in a headlock.
What a little pain in the ass he is.
I actually miss him though. I got to be honest.
Yeah, well, don't.
Yeah.
I deal with the Flyers. He's a producer a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
And I ask him every time at the end of the broadcast, all right, Pat, who was on highlights tonight? Like, who was cutting the audio?
Right.
And he never gives me the real person's name. He always gives me a former Fanatic employee.
Right. And there's a long list.
Oh, yeah. Like, he'll give me Spillman or Merget. He busted out a Lauren Fantini a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Remember?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. Yeah. Colin Berger says, the days of half-ass Egan on the stream. See, people remember all this stuff.
Yeah. Everything was half-assed. If we wanted to book a guest, we'd be waiting for the guest to call in. And he'd have the wrong Wednesday.
Right.
We have so-and-so tomorrow. It was actually next Wednesday. He'd screw everything up. So we'd always be very careful promoting a guest that he booked.
Yeah.
Because it was a crapshoot whether they'd be there or not. You were telling me last week about that George Martin documentary. I still got to watch it on Showtime.
Yeah.
What's it called again, Harry?
Under the Volcano. And you're right. It's the George Martin, his island studio that he built in the West Indies after he decided to get away from the London scene. This was all post-Beatles, and he just wanted to do something completely different. And he puts it on this, this remote island in the middle of the Caribbean. And it's really interesting to see all the famous groups and singers and stuff that went there. They just would stay there for a couple of weeks or months, in the middle of nowhere, and record albums and write music. And to see, it's a who's who of who performed there and, recorded great albums there. And then it tragically ends because of a storm, a hurricane, Hugo, I believe it was, that came in and really wiped out Hugo. Yeah. And wiped out the island. And then the volcano, there's a live volcano on the island. The volcano blew and put ash on half of the island. Is uninhabitable now post volcano eruption. And that was where the studio was. So you can't even use it anymore anyway. But
like Chernobyl. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. But during like the late 70s and all the 80s and into the, the 90s, mid 90s, this place was a happening destination for great music.
Now, did the environment or the surroundings affect the music and kind of you get a Caribbean flair to the music? And
it's funny that you're absolutely right. Like the Police did a couple of records there, and Sting is prevalent in this documentary, and actually all three of them are, and they incorporated a lot of the flavor of where they were into their music, and they weren't alone. I mean, it did affect a lot of the music.
Yeah. So you have those what are those drums called? The steel drum.
Yeah, the steel drums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that. A lot of reggae. So you get a lot of that influence into there. That's pretty cool. I got to check it out.
Jimmy Buffett did the song or the album Volcano with the song Volcano. That was one of his sing along hits, and he wrote that there as in regards to the volcano. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing, I was watching that Get Back documentary on the Beatles. I haven't
seen it.
Here's a good I don't know if it's under the radar. I'm not a huge Beatles guy, but the song Two of Us by the Beatles is a great tune.
That's a John Lennon song.
Yeah, it's so good. And I remember the song like kind of growing up and hearing it, but they were kind of rehearsing it in the show, and then I've gone back and listened to it a bunch of times. It's got really weird structure to it and everything, but I love that song, and like the melody of it's awesome.
Yep.
Very cool
great
stuff.
One. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to get to here?
I'm trying to think. I'm on halfway through, a little bit over halfway through Archive 81.
Oh, that's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes. It's a little creepy, a little twisted, a little scary. It's like the occult.
Yeah.
and devil worship kind of thing. Like you know, it's pretty wild. But I'm into it. They're an hour long, and it kind of hooked me. And there's only 8 episodes thus far, so I'll finish that up this week. But I got into that.
So you give that a Harry Mays thumbs up?
Yeah, I mean, if you like to be a little bit on edge, there's some episodes that are a little slow where it kind of drags, but there's some creepy stuff in here, and the acting is really good.
Yeah. See, sometimes like those shows, like if they make you like uncomfortable, you almost get physically uncomfortable. You
Yeah.
can only watch in small doses.
Right. I can only watch 1 episode at a time. This is not something I could binge, and take out 3 or 4 at once.
There's a documentary that's on Netflix called The Alpinist.
Oh yeah, I've seen promos for that.
So an alpinist is a mountain climber that climbs, mountains that are snow and ice covered.
Right.
And there's this guy, he's a Canadian guy, I forget his name, something Leclerc, I think.
Not
And
Johnny Leclerc.
not Johnny Leclerc, and not Charles Leclerc, the Formula One driver for Scuderia Ferrari here.
Oh yes.
But I'm watching this documentary, and heights are one of my things that I twist my stomach into knots.
Me too.
And I'm watching it, and this guy is like climbing this mountain with these spikes on his feet, but the mountain is ice covered, snow covered, and not covered in rock. And he's climbing this rock.
Wow.
And it looks like he's like just crawling up a little hill, but it's a wall he's climbing. Like he's so good at it, right?
Right.
But I'm so twisted in my stomach thinking this dude's going to just slip and plummet to his death that I have to turn it off. I can't watch it.
Yeah, I get sick like seeing like people jump out of a plane, like if they've got like one of them GoPros on, right, on their helmet, and or they show the videos of like the soldiers, the paratrooper kind of guys jumping out of the plane, and you're like right there with them. I lose it. Like it affects it. Like I can't handle it.
Like I can't even handle that picture of the iron workers in New York City from 1954 building the building, sitting there eating lunch on the girders.
Oh.
It makes me want to puke.
I know.
You know what's a good one though? Did you ever see the video of the guy climbing the radio tower to change the lights at the top of the tower?
No.
It's like
I can't imagine.
Oh my God, Har.
Like you're going up there in Manioc where all those towers are, right? Oh my God.
Like this guy's job is to climb this freaking tiny tower that's held up by cables.
Yeah. And it's
change
got to
a
be
light
swaying
bulb.
in the wind. It's got to be swinging. Like I'm getting the heebie-jeebies right now just talking about it
I'm
because
gonna
I can
send it to
imagine.
you.
I can imagine it so vividly. It had to have been that if you believe in past lives, I must have died falling out of a window of a skyscraper.
Yeah. I think I did as well.
Oh my
because
God.
I hate it. But it's weird because I want to skydive just to get over it and just to have the feeling of what it must feel like to be back on land.
No, I don't. I don't want to do that.
You wouldn't do it?
No.
You'd have to throw me out of the plane, probably cut the engine.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're going down.
Right. Going back to that documentary, Under the Volcano, do you know what the last record was that was recorded there before they shut it down?
What year?
I want to say late 80s, 89-ish.
89-ish.
Yeah, I'd probably say 89, 90.
89,
very
90.
Very famous band.
Guns N' Roses?
No, bigger.
Bigger than Guns N'
Oh,
Roses.
bigger. I mean, almost as big as it gets, bro.
In 89, 90, Pink Floyd?
No, the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
Steel Wheels.
Steel Wheels was done there, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They were the last ones to record there, and it's kind of interesting. Dire Straits did a couple of records there, including the Brothers in Arms. And there's an interesting story about how they got Sting onto the record. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but there's some really good stuff. You would like it.
All right, yeah, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely check that out. And all right, that's going to put a wrap on episode 9 of Odgies, presented by Parx Sportsbook. Make sure you download the app and get ready. Start like kind of getting used to the functionality, because coming up in a week, you're going to have so much to wager on, all the props, on everything. It's going to be
Player
sick.
props. Yeah.
We'll roll some of those out next week, some props and stuff, Har?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
We'll do that next week. New customers, again, you don't need a promo code. You get $500 risk-free bet. So you just deposit, and your first bet is risk-free up to $500. And make sure you follow Parx on the social channels at Parx Sportsbook on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. It's amazing because when we end these episodes, Harry manages to exit the studio quicker than anybody I've ever seen.
What do you
He
mean?
evaporates. As soon as
What,
we end it, you're gone.
Oh, well, what am I supposed to? You want me to stick around? I'll stick around. I didn't
I'm only
know.
kidding.
Oh, okay.
But you got the trigger. It's like a trap door. I go, we'll talk to you next time. And boom, you fall right through the floor like Saddam Hussein in that gallows. Oh my goodness. All right, everybody. Episode 10 coming up next week. Everybody have a great week. We'll talk to you next time on the Odd G's podcast.